Hello, yogi friends, namaste. So this class is going out to my Tuesday night class because we just learned that we're not going to be able to meet on our last class this session. So please join me in this kind of well-rounded practice. Let's start in a seated position. So you might find it more comfortable to sit up on a few blankets or a block or something, or maybe just an easy cross-legged position here on the floor. And we're going to take a moment just to find the sitting bones, to tether the awareness to that contact between sitting bones and ground. You can just wobble a little bit and really kind of feel into that. Maybe closing your eyes will help you focus that awareness. And imagine that you're dropping roots down through the floor into the earth from those sitting bones. And from that depth of rootedness, we're going to raise the arms up and feeling that they're just an extension of those lines of energy from the sitting bones right up to the fingertips. Beautiful. Let's let the hands come back down. So I'm planting the right palm and just an easy side bend. You can soften this elbow as you reach the left arm up, over, pulsing into it a little bit. And coming up, let's find that axis of extension and also like sinking. And then other side, so left hand plants and just gentle pulse over to the left. Beautiful. Coming back, let's create some circles here. So we're starting to get into the hips easily, so just, it's the start of the practice, go easy. And let's sweep it in the other direction, maybe starting to let the head participate. So feel the heaviness of the head kind of dragging you around into that orbit. And then we'll wind it in to that still dynamic place. Find that beautiful sort of sinking and reaching sensation. And then we're going to lean back. I'll turn to the side just so you can see what I'm doing. Lean back, find the sacrum. You can keep your feet on the ground and just lean back until you find that core engagement. Maybe you'd like to float the legs, maybe straighten them any amount. It's early in the practice. And then we'll change the cross of the legs and find those circles again. So starting to make them bigger. And in the opposite direction. And winding into center once more. This time we're going to take the hands onto the shins and just lean it back. So lean onto the sacrum, kind of round the spine, and then drag it forward, feeling how you're coming over into the front of those sitting bones. And heart forward. Once again, let's try that. Exhale it back, round, inhale. Coming forward, last time. Exhale. Inhale, forward. And from here, let's take it onto all fours to find some cat-cows. So tenting the fingers, just making the back line a little bit longer that way, and let the head hang heavy. And let's create some circles here. In both directions, just playing around with this shape. Beautiful. Neutral position, plant the palms, and then we'll tuck the toes. Soften the groin creases, let the belly start to approach the ground as the heart shines forward and the tail reaches up. So arching the spine. And again, some little circling here, both directions. Nice. Coming back to our neutral starting point, and let's take that into a breath pulse. So exhale, round. Inhale, arch. And exhale, round, long exhale. Maybe holding at the bottom briefly, and then inhale. Maybe holding at the top briefly. One more time, exhale. And inhale. Beautiful. All right, so let's float the heels. Palms are planted firmly, and we'll not floating the heels, floating the knees. So just holding this position and feeling into your core strength. And then up and back, downward facing dog. Let's come right back down, hovering the knees above the ground an inch or two. Hold, hold, hold. And then hips up and back. Downward facing dog one last time, hovering. And hips up and back. Let's pedal it out. Just starting to feel into that downward facing dog. Taking the feet wide. Soften the knees, and then we'll walk the hands purposefully back. We're hanging out here in a high squat, and we're going to sway it from side to side. So let the head again hang heavy. And use this to just drop any tension in the face, in the neck, in the shoulders. And coming back to center. Let's bring our hands up just behind the knees and just kind of hang out here for a moment to make sure you're not going to get dizzy as you come up. Let's walk it to the front of your mat, and we'll start with some half sun salutations. Here we go. Big toes together, or if you prefer and you find it a little more stabilizing, you can take a little space in between them. Soften the knees, press earth, and sweep it up. Inhale. Exhale, coming forward, and here you can bend the knees as much as you need to in order to keep the spine lengthening. Slide on up the fronts of the shins. Inhale, half lift, and then exhale, find that fold again. Feel the contact between front of thigh and torso. And then press earth to come up on an inhale. And exhale, Samasthiti. Equal standing. So let's try that again. Inhale, sweep it up. Exhale, pour it forward, bend the knees as you need to. Inhale, you can have the hands in front of the shins, or you might bring the hands to forehead. Exhale, find the fold. Inhale, sweeping it up. Exhale, Samasthiti, or equal standing. So in the Samasthiti, let's find the central axis. So from the instep, just imagine that there's energy coming up the inseam of the leg. It's going to lift the perineum, scoop the lower abdomen as the tail is heavy. The heart is buoyant, a little bit feeling the shoulder blades coming together. Throat is soft, available, and then feeling a flowering on the crown of the head, the 1,000-petaled lotus, Sahasrara chakra. Samasthiti. Beautiful. Let's do one more half sun salutation. Inhale it up. Exhale forward. Inhale, lift. Exhale, fold. Soften the knees, press earth. Inhale up. Exhale, find that axis of energy in the body, that organizing pattern for the whole body. And let's take that energy into Surya Namaskara A. Inhale it up. Exhale, offering it forward with the breath folded in. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. And then walk the feet back, coming into a straight arm plank. You may want to bring the knees down here, so feeling that out in your body. I'm going to press into the balls of the feet and just shift forward and back, feeling how that engages the core stabilizers. Beautiful. Let's all bring the knees down. Draw the elbows into the side bodies as you lower down. Reaching the hands forward and finding a full pranam here. So use this opportunity to focus in on the breath wave, tethering your awareness to that breath. And then let's swing the arms back, and we're going to find a little sphinx. Now I'm going to bring my elbows a little bit back of the shoulders and then draw the forearms back without actually moving them. So this is going to, as we present the heart forward, feel how we're gently tractioning the spine away from the pelvis. Beautiful. Let's melt that down. Hands underneath the shoulders. Press to all fours. Tucking the toes, hips up and back. Finding downward facing dog. Remember, you can always keep the knees bent here any amount. And let's take a few breaths to focus in on the drawing in of the perineum, the mula or the root. The scooping of the lower abdomen, and maybe feeling the lengthening of the back of the neck as the chin comes even just a tiny bit towards the sternum notch. And then we'll let those bandhas, locks go. Exhale, soften the knees, looking between the hands and walking the feet forward. Inhale right into your half lift. Exhale, folding. Inhale, sweeping it up. Exhale, Samasthiti. Beautiful. Let's do that again. Inhale and listen for the changes. Exhale, folding. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Plant the palms, soften the knees. You can walk back into that plank, or you might want to find a little hop back so you can lower down to the belly. Let's roll the shoulders up and back and kind of walk the knees forward. So we're in an intermediate phase between Bhujangasana or Cobra and upward facing dog. And let's just take a moment here to kind of shimmy the shoulders side to side and start to play with that stretch we're creating. Maybe lifting the knees up, presenting the heart forward, pulling the spine away from the pelvis, and then through all fours, we'll tuck toes, hips up and back. Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. And let's sweep the right leg up, bend the knee, open the hip out to the side, and just straighten and bend that knee a few times. And let that foot find its place on the earth again. Sweep the left leg up, opening the hip, bending, straightening the knee a few times, and 2 feet down. Softening the knees, look forward in between the hands. So here you can walk your feet up. You could take a few little hops, or maybe one little hop to the front of the mat. Inhale right into your half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweeping it up. Exhale, Samasthiti. So feeling once again that axis, that patterning of energy where we're rooting through the feet but coming up through the midline, pressing into the base of the palms and equalizing that pressure from the pinky finger side to the thumb side. Beautiful. Let's release that and we'll play with some standing postures. So I'm going to step my feet out, find a nice wide straddle stance here, and then lift up the right foot, place it down. So coming back, let's try that once more and just try to keep the pelvis facing forward. So you could find the hip points and just, you know, instead of turning them to the side, see how much you can kind of keep that facing forward. So up, pivot. Beautiful. Let's sweep the arms up, drawing those legs in towards each other. So there's, again, we've got that lift of the mula into the core of the body. You could also think about the 2 sitting bones and then what we did at the top of the class. And then from here, we're going to inhale it up and then exhale down into our Trikonasana triangle pose. So you might stop quite high, just feeling that out. You might kind of creep down. If you find that your torso starts to turn so that your heart is turning towards the mat, you want to come up a little bit so that you can have that facing forward. So our drishti or gaze could be just straight forward. It might be up towards that hand. One more breath here. And then on the exhale, let's let that go. Soften that front knee. Come on up, 2 feet parallel, and let's take it to the second side. So we're gonna inhale, pivot left, and once again, let's come back and try our little trick with the hip points. So find those frontal hip points. Up and over, were you able to sort of keep that, maintain that integrity? And then we'll sweep the arms up on the inhale, exhale, coming down any amount. So you find your Trikonasana. You could also enlist the help of a block and set your hand on the block. So finding your gazing point and allowing your eyes to be still and steady. This will help to calm the mind as we settle into the pose. One more breath here. And then on the exhale, let's soften that left knee, press on up, and let's heel toe it in together. Just kind of shake the legs out. Nice work. And we'll look at a twisted triangle as well. So for our twisted triangle, we're actually going to turn around to face the short end of the mat. I'm going to step 1 foot forward and 1 foot back. And then once again, seeing if more or less my hips are facing forward. Inhale, so this is my right leg. Inhale your left arm up. Exhale, starting to fold. Now here, again, you might find that, oh, that's far enough. You can place that hand, maybe 2 hands just against the right thigh and hang out right here. Or we could come down a little further and start to turn the heart behind you. So there's our twist. The challenge here, you can even take your right hand and just find the sacrum, is to try to keep the sacrum somewhat neutral so that we've got more twist happening in the spine. Remember, that top hand doesn't have to be reaching up. It could be just resting on your hip or on your sacrum. And on the next exhale, let's release that, soften that right knee, press your way up, find the hip points, and then we're going to step so that we're facing, those hip points are facing the short end of the mat. Stepping forward and then back, and we'll take that on the second side. So now this is my left foot forward, right hand is going to come up. Exhale, coming forward. So remember, you can stop any way along the way, or coming down and then starting to find that twist. Can you feel the spine nice and long between the tail and the crown of the head? As the heart opens to this space that was behind us. And then on the next exhale, we'll soften that left knee, the front knee. Press on up. Let's heel toe in. Shake that out. Shake the hands out. Shoulders out. And then we're going to come on down to the ground. So let's come onto the back. We're going to bend the knees, place the feet pretty close to the hips, and then I'm going to reach my right leg up and cross it just over the left leg. So our figure 4, pretty common external hip rotation stretch. So you could keep the left knee bent, or you might play with lengthening it. You could sort of bend and straighten, playing with that. And I like to create a little pulse in and out of that stretch. Feels kind of nice on my lower back. Nice. Let's bend that knee if you had it straightened, and let's find 2 feet flat on the ground. Then stretching the left leg up, crossing it over, and playing with the same idea on the second side. So maybe the knee's bent, maybe you're playing with straightening and bending, pulsing in and out of that stretch. Nice. And then we'll release on out of that. So I'm going to take my triceps and bring them down to the ground, press into the ground so that it kind of lifts my shoulders a little bit, and I can walk the shoulders together. I'm going to reach the hands down and start to bring the hips up. You can walk those shoulders in, maybe baby bit again. We're going to hang out here for a bit in our Setu Bandhasana, bridge pose. So in this position, it's also interesting to revisit that line of drawing into the core of the body. So we've created a slant, and then this kind of facilitates the movement into the core, the lifting of the perineum. You can feel that scooping in the lower abdomen here. And as you press into the feet, you can definitely feel the lengthening of the back of the neck. So we're playing with the shapes of the 3 bandhas, Mula Bandha, Uddiyana Bandha, and Jalandhara Bandha. And then let's just soften the spine down into the ground, and we're going to let the legs, the knees just fall to one side as the head rolls to the other. I'm going to just bring my arms out to the sides, really lazy, supported twist. Nice big breath here. And on the next inhalation, let's inhale those knees up and exhale them over to the other side as the head rolls gently in the opposite direction. Beautiful. And inhaling the knees up. Let's find our hands underneath the knees and rock it forward. Nice. All right, so we're going to look at a forward fold here. I'm going to bend the right knee and then just bring it out to the side. Now, if you find that your knee is floating up quite high and that's troubling you, you could always take a block and just, or a rolled up blanket or something, and just prop up that knee a little bit. So we're drawing the sole of that foot against the inside of the other leg. So this is my left leg, my right leg is bent. And let's find those two sitting bones. Inhale the arms up. So find again that length, those lines of energy. You can draw up the perineum, scoop the lower abdomen, and then we start to breathe it forward. Now, forward could mean a whole lot of things. This depends on you. What I don't want to see is a rounding forward as you try to get your head down towards your leg. No. We want to have the spine lengthening as you go forward. So if that means that you're even working back here, trying to lengthen the spine, heart is open, heart is leading, then this is a great place to work. And we'll use the breath as we move deeper into this pose. So exhale as you're moving towards the leg. Inhale as you move up away from the leg. Exhale, lowering any amount. Inhale, coming up. And let's actually exchange the legs. So now left leg is bent. I'm going to find that same position. Remember, you can prop that knee if that felt good on the other side. And once again, we start our journey on the exhale. Exhaling forward any amount. Allow the inhale to release you from the depth of that entry into the forward fold. Exhale. Inhale, just relaxing on up away from it. Exhale. And allow this inhale to bring you right on up out of there. Nice. And we're going to come down onto the back again. So I want you to find your groin creases right here. So that's the very top of your thighs. And I want you to find the base of your palms. So we're going to connect those two. Beautiful. I'm going to press so that my lower back starts to rise up away from the ground. I'm just going to hang out here for a little while. So we're creating a tractioning of the lumbar spine as we press and tip the pelvis forward a little bit. Just allow the breath to find its own path here. And then we're going to release that pressure of the palms into the groin creases and press the lumbar spine into the ground. Press, press, press. So the tail is maybe lifting up a little bit away from the ground here. So a little bit of a subtle rounding. And we're engaging the core. And releasing that. So let's try it with the breath pulse. when we're arching, that's going to be the inhalation phase, and when we're pressing in, that will be the exhalation phase. Here we go. So pressing, inhale. Exhale, pressing the lumbar spine flat into the ground. And again. Inhale. Lumbar spine lifts up away from the ground. Exhale, releasing that pressure and pressing the lumbar spine into the ground. Last time. Inhale. And releasing, exhale, melting the lumbar spine into the ground. Press, press, press. Feel that core engagement. And then hands underneath the knees. Let's rock it on up. And we're going to look at a seated twist. So straightening the legs out. I'm going to bend the right knee and then let it fall out to the side. So we've been here before. This time we're going to use it to play with a twist. So I'll take my right hand and just let it be a little kickstand behind my right hip. Left arm, inhale it up, creating so much length and space. And exhale, let the left palm find the right knee. And little bit of a twist. So here again, we can harness the breath. As we twist, we're exhaling. As we inhale, we'll release out of that twist. So once again, exhale, any amount into the twist. Inhale, release last time, exhale. Inhale it forward, two legs straight, bending the left knee, let that knee fall out to the side, and left hand, propping hand behind. Inhale, right arm up, exhale, right palm finds left knee, exhale into the twist. Inhale, releasing out of it, exhale, back you go. Inhale, release. Last time, exhale into that twist. Inhale, coming forward. Beautiful. Let's stretch two legs forward. And we'll look at a forward fold with two legs. Before we actually do that, we're going to look at this kind of L shape, which is also called Dandasana. So danda in Sanskrit means a staff. And you can imagine that they're referring to the spine as that staff. So we're going to take our hands, they can find the ground, and bring the shoulder blades together. So those hands are going to be kind of behind the hips. Bringing the shoulder blades together, I'm going to draw in the perineum and scoop that lower abdomen. And then maybe lengthening the back of the neck. And as the heart comes up, shoulder blades together, maybe the chin makes a little gesture towards the heart. And we'll release that. Maybe just looking up for a moment to release the neck. Inhale and exhale, coming down any amount into your forward fold. Again, remember, not rounding our way in. So if you want to work just in Dandasana, great place to stay. We're drawing the kneecaps up towards the pelvis as we exhale our way into that forward fold. Inhale, remember, floats the torso up away from the stretch. Exhale, diving back in. Inhale, releasing last time. Exhale. come on down to our backs, and we're going to move into Shavasana. So you might want to, if you have some props at home, you could maybe put a bolster under the knees, anything that makes you feel comfortable in your Shavasana. I will just be sitting to guide you into your Shavasana. So finding that place of comfort and support, whatever you're lying on. So this is the exhalation phase of our practice. It's the letting go of everything that we've done, everything that we've visited so far. So releasing, softening muscles, allowing bones to be heavy and sink into the support of the earth. With this breath, releasing everything that preceded this breath. With this breath, releasing everything that will follow this breath. So releasing into just this breath. Relax deeply and relax completely. As the breath starts to lengthen out, the exhale is lengthening, you're releasing. You might relax the eyeballs back into their sockets, widening the space between the eyebrows, allowing the tongue to become quiet, to become soft, and just settle into the back of the mouth. And as this organ of speech becomes quiet, our thoughts also become quiet. And as the ears relax, they open. Allowing the base of the skull to widen. And as this happens, feeling that the jaw becomes a little slacker. Jaw softens. The throat is soft. Everything releasing and relaxing. And we want the mind to rest as well, of course. So we can tether our mind to the breath. Just observing the breath wave as it arises, moves through the body. I invite you to stay right here as long as you're able to, as long as you want to. But if you would like to end the class with me now, before you move from your supine position, just checking to see which nostril is dominant at the moment. And then we're going to roll over onto that side. So our dominant nostril will be the one that is closest to the floor. So finding a little cushion for the side of your head with your arm, drawing the knees up towards the torso, just curling into this side lying balasana. Again, releasing everything that preceded this breath and everything that will follow this breath. Just this breath. And then as you're ready, mindfully, slowly, kindfully, finding your way up to a seated position. Once again, we find our roots through those sitting bones, sweeping the arms up and feeling those beautiful lines of energy that we established at the top of the practice. And then we'll just bring those hands in front of the heart and find the breath. Just taking 3 conscious breaths together. And then let's all sweep our arms up on an inhale. Hands meet at the top, acknowledging the love that holds everything in being. Drawing the hands to the third eye. Acknowledging our inner light. Drawing the hands to the heart. And just kind of bringing together all the positive energy that you brought to this practice with me today. And then with your intention, sending that out into the world wherever it needs to go right now. And so from my heart to your heart, thank you so much for practicing with me today. And to my Tuesday night yogi friends, I hope we'll meet together on the mat again soon. Namaste.